बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम।
जहां में मेरे सनम की कोई मिसाल नहीं, जमील कुल है वही और कहीं जमाल नहीं। जहां में मेरे सनम की कोई मिसाल नहीं, ये देख शम्स कमर को ज़वाल होता है, ये देख शम्स कमर को ज़वाल होता है। जहाने हुस्न के खुर्शीद को ज़वाल नहीं, कमाल दिल परी उसको बिहिश्त से आया, कमाल दिल परी उसको बिहिश्त से आया, तो फिर जहां पे कहीं और ये कमाल नहीं। विसाल शाह बुता इस जहान में मुश्किल है, विसाल शाह बुता इस जहां में मुश्किल है, जो कल्ब ही में है आज वो विसाल नहीं। जवाब हाय हिकम से भरा खजाना है, जवाब हाय हिकम से भरा खजाना है, जवाब हाथ बहुत है मगर सवाल नहीं, जवाब हाथ बहुत है मगर सवाल नहीं। वो कौन हसीना हिजाबे दिल में है, वो कौन वो शाह कौन हसीना हिजाबे दिल में है, हिजाब कैसे हटाऊं मेरी मजाल नहीं। जहां में है कलम कोई भी गरीब नहीं, अमीर अदब है गर्चे माल नहीं, ख्याल ताइर बर की है ए नसीरुद्दीन, अजीम अतीक रहमान है ख्याल नहीं।
So the English translation is on the screen. Jamal-e-Kul, universal beauty. Unparalleled in the world is my beloved. There is no beauty other than his. He is universal beauty. Behold, the sun sets and the moon wanes, but the sun of the world of beauty never sets. From paradise descended his perfect captivation, which perfection exists nowhere else in this world. Union with the sovereign of beauties in this world is difficult. The Moro's union promised in paradise is not possible today. Constant anguish has completely crushed me. By God's grace, that anguish is no more. There exists a treasury filled with answers of wisdom. Many are the answers, but there is no question. That king of the world's beauties is behind the heart's veil. How shall I part that veil? No such power have I. Not a single person of the pen is a pauper in this world. Though bereft of wealth, they are rich in knowledge and letters. O Nasiruddin, imagination is a lightning bird. This not a figment of imagination. This the compassionate's great gift. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. This is in praise of our Imam, Nur Maulana Shah Karim Hussaini Hazi Imam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. There is no parallel beauty in the world than our Imam, my beloved. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Ya Ali Madad to all friends.
Wala Ali Madad.
Wala Ali Madad. Wala Ali Madad.
Wala Ali Madad.
Wala Ali Madad.
Mawla Ali Madad.
December 27th, 1893. So this is 2 nights after the night of 25th. Imam is giving this farman. This is a beautiful stories, allegories. So inshallah, it's a long farman. I don't think we'll be able to finish it, but we'll be, discussing a couple of these stories, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. एक बादशाह शिकार करवा જંગલમાં ગયો. રસ્તામાં એક હકીમે જોયું. હકીમ એટલે ડોક્ટર નહીં, પણ તે એક દરવેશ હતો. તે દરવેશ એક ઠેકાણે બેઠો હતો. તે દરવેશ પોતાના ઘર-બાર છોડી જંગલમાં ખુદાની મોહબ્બતમાં બેઠો હતો. દરવેશ સાથે બાદશાહની મુલાકાત થઈ અને દરવેશ તથા બાદશાહ दुनिया संबंधी वातु करवा लाग्या. So the story Imam is telling us is so beautiful that there was a king who actually goes for hunting in forest, and on the way on the path he sees a hakim. The word hakim is from wise, wisdom. So a wise man was there. And Hakim is normally, sometimes people interchangeably use it for physical doctors at that time. So Imam explains it that when I say Hakim, does not mean the physical medical doctor, but a darwish. So this darwish was sitting there in the forest, and he had left his worldly life, his family, and he was living in jungle in the remembrance of God. And this king who sees this dervish, both of them starts talking about the physical world. And now let's see what they are talking about. દરવેશે કહ્યું કે દુનિયાની મિસાલ એવી છે જેમ કે એક મસ્ત હાથી કોઈ એક માણસ ઉપર હલ્લો કરે છે. This dervish is explaining about this physical world, and he says this example of this world is as if there is a person on whom an elephant is attacked. An elephant has attacked. તે માણસ પોતાની જાન બચાવવા ઝાડ ઉપર ચડી જાય છે. મસ્ત હાથી ઝાડને થડને હલાવી રહ્યો છે. And this person who was, being attacked by elephant, he runs away and he reaches to a tree and he climbs up the tree. So he's climbing up the tree and the elephant is hitting this tree constantly. ઝાડને મસ્ત હાથી ઝાડના થડને હલાવી રહ્યો છે. ઝાડને હલાવવાથી માણસના પગ ઝાડની ડાલી ઉપરથી છટકી જતા તે ઝાડની વાડીઓને વળગી રહ્યો છે. So this person who has climbed up the tree to protect himself from the elephant, now he was trying to, remain protected on the tree, but because of the pushes by the elephant, he kind of falls down on a branch. So he's on the branch looking upward, but he's trying to protect himself from falling down by the attack of the elephant. જાળને હલાવાથી ડાળમાં રહેલા માળકુવા માંથી મધ ના ટીપા તે માણસના મોઢામાં પડી રહ્યા છે. Very interestingly, there was a honeycomb on one of the branch, and due to this pushes of elephant, this honeycomb starts leaking. When it is leaking drop by drop, it is falling in the mouth of this person who is like, facing upward, trying to hold on to the branch. And this drop of honey is coming in his mouth, drop by drop. જેથી માણસના મોઢામાં પડી રહ્યા છે. બીજી તરફ ધોળો અને કાળો એવા બે ઉંદરો તે માણસને પકડી વાળવીને કાપી રહ્યા છે. Now, Imam is telling us this story that the branch on this, the branch on this person is on this branch. At the end of the branch, where it is attached to the tree, there are two squirrels, a white color and a black color. And they are chewing the branch, the connection point where the branch is connecting to the tree, they are chewing the branch. તે માણસે પકડેલી વાડવીને કાપી રહ્યા છે. નીચે મોટો કૂવો છે જેમાં અસદો છે જેના મોઢામાં આગ સળગી રહી છે. Now, Imam is also adding to the story that on the ground there is a well, and in that well there is a dragon, and dragon has fire in his mouth. So let's just recap this. Close our eyes and imagine this person who was followed by an elephant. He climbs up to the tree and he's climbing up, but elephant is hitting it. So he kind of falls on the branch and he's looking upward, but he's somehow holding to the branch. But by being, hits of the elephant, there is a honeycomb which starts leaking. So drop by drop, honey is coming into the mouth of this person. At the same time, there are two squirrels, white color and black color. They are chewing the branch connection to the tree. On the other hand, on the ground next to the tree, there is a well in which there is a dragon. And dragon has this fire in his mouth. It can burn anything, right? Now, this is the scenario Darwish is giving to the king. આમ દરેક તરફના ભય હોવા છતાં માળકુવામાંથી ટપકી રહેલા મધના સવાદને તે માણસ છોડી શકતો નથી હોવાથી પોતાના બચાવ કરવાનું પણ ભૂલી જાય છે. Despite of all these risks around this person, everywhere, it's as if everybody is behind him. There's a squirrel is trying to make him drop. There's a dragon, there's an elephant. Everywhere he is at a risk and he's just barely hanging on to the branch. Despite of all these risks around him, he is enjoying these drops of honey in his mouth, and he has forgotten to take care of himself, to find a way, to find a path to protect him from any of these, risks which are around him. If this squirrel cuts the branch, he's going to fall down into the mouth of the dragon. If it doesn't fall down, the dragon is going to fire the branch. If dragon doesn't do it, elephant is hitting the tree. He's barely hanging on to the branch. Look at this person, but he's enjoying this honey and he's forgotten completely all these things happening to him on that tree. આખરે કાળા અને ધોળા ઉંદરો તે વાડવી કાપી નાખે છે અને તે માણસ કૂવામાં રહેલા અસદાના મુખમાં જાય પડે છે. Eventually, these squirrels who were cutting the branch, they do cut it. And this person falls into this well in which there is a dragon, into the mouth of the dragon, meaning he becomes the food of the fire. જ્યારે આ વાત દરવેશની પૂરી કરી ત્યારે બાદશાહે તેની મતલબ પૂછી. When this dervish completes the story, then Badshah, the king, says, tell me the meaning of it, right? What does this allegories mean? જવાબમાં દરવેશ કહ્યું કે મદથી બાયડી, છોકરા અને દુનિયાનું માલ દોલત વગેરે છે. So he's explaining, and the first answer he's giving is this honey, which was, drop by drop coming into his mouth, becomes the reason of forgetting all the risks around him. And that drop of honey is actually, examples of our spouses, husband or wife, our children, our family, all what we have in the worldly life, our belongings, our wealth and whatnot. અને અઝર તે દોઝક છે. The dragon with fire is an allegory, a tawil of that is of fire, dozakh, burning in the hell. કાળો અને ધોળો ઉંદર તે રાત અને દિવસ છે. This black and white squirrel actually are day and night. બાદશાહને આ વાત ઘણી સારી લાગી. Of course, the king really liked this. So we understand that king is talking to this dervish, elephant hitting the tree. What does that mean? What would be the allegorical understanding? This allegory, what would it mean? We can take this as a meaning of time, though the time is also represented by these two squirrels in the form of day and night. But, there is a farman of Hazrat Imam. Hazrat Imam refers to our time. So this elephant hitting this tree constantly, the clock is ticking, And there is a beautiful farman of Hazrat Imam. This is India, Bombay, Tuesday, November 27th, 1973. Salawat, recite the Salawat, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadi wa ala Muhammad. My beloved spiritual children, I hope you will remember the farman which I have made to you today. And I hope you will put it into practice. I want you to remember that every time you look at a watch, every time you look at a clock, every time you see a hand move by 1 second or 1 minute, this means that you have 1 second or 1 minute less in which to fulfill this farman. It is only the spiritual life which is eternal, not the material life. So I'll stop here. This is a beautiful farman in which Maula continues to give us hidayat that don't think there is tomorrow. Don't think you are old. You got to live and realize that this clock is ticking. So this elephant is constantly hitting the tree, meaning tick-tock, tick-tock. It's happening on our time clock. Time is ticking. Of course, this man on the branch is our example, right? It's us, all of us, each one individually. And honeycomb, we have already realized, it is our worldly life, family, friends, all what we are always constantly, our mind is busy with, right? Our physical health, our everything, whatever we are thinking other than our ruhani, our spirituality. And then the dragon represents dozakh, branch being the life, and this squirrel, black and white, are day and night. So if you look at the whole understanding of it, it is as if we are surrounded by sorrows and pains. Why do I say sorrow and pain? Because it is illusion which is keeping us trapped, and we don't pick on any signs which are shown by day and night, sign with our watch we are wearing, time clock we see, we don't look at that. When we hear about dying, somebody dies in front of us, any family, any friends in Jama'at, we get reminder of death coming to us. And when we think of that, either there is heaven or there is hell. And then what else? Elephant. All we have talked about. So all these allegories are helping us realize that what are the dangers, what are the reminders given to us. And these are danger if we do not take guidance from it. And Imam is reminding us with this beautiful story from all the aspects to realize, to understand that how our life is passing away. And I just read Hasim Imam's Farman, the reason, the objective of our life is to actually take care of our soul, our spirituality. We have to progress in our ruhaniyat. So that is the objective. So what is the lesson? What is the morale? What is Imam teaching us? That do not be believing this illusion which you have because you're finding it sweet and tasty. Do not be thinking that that is going to remain, that is eternal. Whatever we have in our physical life, sorrows or happiness, anything we have, everything is going to die. Nothing matters. Everything what we are going through, it will pass. So what is the real thing? What is going to stay with us? Our spirituality, our ibadat, our zikr, our knowledge. That's the only thing which will help us to elevate in paradise. Otherwise, this dragon is constantly there, waiting, willing to burn us. So deeds, how are we taking care of our deeds in this world? So that was one story about the king. Who is this king actually? King is the person who has this knowledge and is able to understand what would be his status if he does not remain mindful. King is us also. How it is king? Because we are learning this knowledge. When we are learning this knowledge, we are reminded, we are mindfully living our life. We value our second, our minute. We value this time, and we are, the way Peer says in Ginan, right? He jug hat part bazar kari jano. Meaning that think of this world that you have come to trade, and in this world, everybody, everything is an opportunity to earn, to have profit in your business. So what we, seekers of true knowledge, when we walk on the path, we are very mindfully walking, and everywhere where we see any test, any difficulty we see, we make it an opportunity to earn profit. Profit of this world? Not at all. Profit of that world. Our saving accounts, so we can take our savings, our book of deeds in front of Imam, which will make Imam proud that we did not forget. We remembered this elephant hitting the tree, the dragon sitting, the squirrel being there, and the honeycomb. Nothing made us forget that we are here for one and one purpose only, and that is to remember our Imam, to become one with our Imam during our lifetime. And it is very much possible for a Mu'min Salik who is traveling on this path. બાદશાહને આ વાત ઘણી સારી લાગી. ત્યારબાદ મૌલાના હાજી ઇમામે ફરમાવ્યું. Now after that, Imam continues and gives more pearls of wisdom to the Jama'at. દુનિયામાં 3 વર્ગના લોક છે. તેની મિસાલ આપી ફરમાવ્યું. Then Imam says that there are 3 types of people in this world, and Imam is now explaining with example. પહેલો ઘણો પૈસાવાળો, બીજો થોડો પૈસાવાળો, ત્રીજો ગરીબ યાની પૈસા વિનાનો. So there are 3 types of people in this world. The first category of people who are very rich. Second, medium rich, middle class, and the third group of people are poor. જ્યારે પૈસાવાળો પૈસાવાળાને ઘેરે જાય છે ત્યારે ઘણી ખાતર બરદાસ્ત કરે છે અને ઇજ્જત આબરૂ સાથે માન આવકાર આપે છે. When a rich person visits the rich person, meeting with each other, they are very much respected and, taken care of, treated well, and respectfully, welcome always. When a rich person is meeting with the rich. But When Imam says, બીજો જે થોડો પૈસા વાળો છે તે પહેલા ઘણા પૈસા વાળને ત્યાં જાય. બીજો જે થોડો પૈસો વાળો છે તે પહેલા ઘણા પૈસા વાળાને ત્યાં જાય તો તે પહેલા જેવી ખાतिर બરદાસ્ત નહીં કરે, અલબત્ત થોડી કરે. Very interestingly, the middle class person, when he visits the rich person, this rich man does, welcome him, but does not treat him the same way as he treated his rich friend. Treating him well, feeding him, and, welcoming him. He did not treat him in the same way because he was a middle class. He had less money. જ્યારે ગરીબ પૈસા વાળાને ત્યાં જાય ત્યારે તે ગરીબને ઘરમાં આવવા નહીં દે. When a poor person visits this rich man, he doesn't even let him enter his house. Why? Because he is poor. આ ત્રણેય જણા દોસ્ત હતા. Now, very interestingly, these three different category of people, they were friends. તેમાંથી તે ઘણો પૈસાવાળો હતો, તે ગરીબ થઈ ગયો. And due to whatever reason, this rich person actually became poor. ત્યારે અમુક ગુનાસર બાદશાહે તેને લાકડીથી મારવાનો હુકમ કર્યો. ત્યારે તેને માફી માંગી અને અરજ કરી કે મને મારો નહીં. Now, not only that this rich man lost money, but due to some, crime or sins, whatever he committed, the king of that place punished him, that beat him with a stick, wooden stick. And he starts seeking forgiveness. Please do not hit me with this wooden stick. Please do not hit me. હવે તે ગરીબ બનેલા માણસ મદદ માંગવા માટે પૈસાવાળા પાસે ગયો, પણ તે પૈસાવાળાએ સીધો જવાબ ન આપ્યો અને કહ્યું કે મારાથી બાદશાહ આગળ કંઈ નહીં થાય. So this person who is now poor, remember he lost his money. So he is now poor, so he goes to his rich friend who he used to welcome, feed and treat him well, respect him. When he goes in his, bad time to this rich friend doesn't welcome him. He says, go away, please. I don't think I can speak to this king about your forgiveness, because remember he was asking forgiveness. Please don't beat me with this wooden stick. This rich friend who always was welcome at his home, he says, no, I cannot do anything for you. I cannot go to the king seeking your forgiveness. No, I cannot do that. આ ગરીબ બીજા થોડા પૈસાવાળા પાસે ગયો તો તેને પણ કહ્યું કે મારાથી મદદ નહીં થાય. Now this new poor person goes to this middle class friend. This middle class friend says the same thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I cannot help you. I cannot just do anything. બાદ તે પહેલા ગરીબ દોસ્ત પાસે ગયો અને કહ્યું કે મારાથી તારી કોઈ ખાતર થઈ નથી, છતાં મહેરબાની કરી બાદશાહ પાસે જઈ જામીન થાય છોડાવો. Now this new poor person finally goes to his poor friend and he says that I have never welcomed you, never respected you, never invited you. I have not done anything for you, but please have mercy in your heart and go to the king and become my, what would you call it? Zamin. Can anybody help me with the English word? In reality, it's a witness,
Speak on his
right?
behalf. Speak on his behalf.
Speak on his behalf, yes.
Guarantor.
Yeah, speak on his behalf.
Represent.
Sorry? Represent him or speak on his behalf. Yes, you're right. But I'm thinking of one more thing. Let's continue to read this Farman and see. તે ગરીબ દોસ્ત બાદશાહ પાસે ગયો, બાદશાહ પાસે જઈ સમજાવી તેનો જામીન થયો અને તેને છોડાવ્યો. This poor friend goes to the king and explains to the king. He's samjhavi, right? He's explaining to the king and takes his guarantee. He takes his guarantee and he gets the forgiveness. Tene chodavyo. He gets the freedom for him. So listen to these words because this is very important. This poor friend goes to the king gives the explanation and gives the guarantee and seeks his freedom. બાદશાહે હકીમને પૂછ્યું આ દ્રષ્ટાંત ની મતલબ શું છે? So of course, remember this king and this dervish, they are talking about this story. So he says, what does this mean? ત્યારે હકીમે જણાવ્યું, જેણે ગુનેગાર થઈ બાદશાહ પાસે જાવું પડ્યું તે ઇન્સાન છે. So this dervish is now explaining that this sinner who had to go to the king seeking his forgiveness is actually a human. જે પૈસાવાળાની ખાतिर બરદાશ્ત કરતો હતો તે દુનિયાની દોલત છે, જેને પાછળ તે ખ્વાર થયું છે. This rich friend represents here, the ta'wil Imam gives is actually the worldly belongings, worldly life, worldly money, worldly relations, all what we have in this world, dunyani daulat. And he had ruined his life. Imam says he had ruined his life after dunyani daulat, the worldly things. જે ગરીબ માણસ તેને છોડાવ્યું તે ખુદાની ઇબાદત છે. The poor friend here, the ta'wil of the poor friend here is his ibadat. બાદ મૌલાના હાજી ઇમામે ફરમાવ્યું, દુનિયામાં ઇબાદત કરવા વાળા ઘણા ઓછા છે. Then Imam is adding to this story and explaining to the Jama'at that there are very few in this world who do this ibadat. Ibadat nahi karwa માટે પૂછાણું લેવાશે. Those who do not do ibadat, they will be asked. માણસો પૈસામાં ગુલતાન થઈ જમાત ખાને જતા નથી. People being involved or being in, following the money, they do not physically go to Jamaat Khana. ઘણા ખરા દોલત જાજી માંગે છે, પણ જમાત ખાને ઓછા જાય છે. There are people who ask for more worldly money, but they do not go to Jamaat Khana. દુનિયામાં હંમેશા 313 મોમિન હોય છે. There is always 313 મોમિન present in this world. જો તે 1313 જણા ન હોય તો દુનિયા ના ચાલે. Imam is beautifully explaining to us that these 313 mominins, if they were not to be in this world would not last. ઇન્સાફથી જવાબ આપો કે તમે औलाद માંગો છો અને જમાત ખાનાથી મોહબ્બત કેમ કરતા નથી? Imam is asking us now. ઇન્સાફથી જવાબ આપો. Be sincere, honest, and do justice. Justified answer. Imam is asking that if you are asking for children, progress, prosperity, but if you have do you have no love in your heart for Jamaat Khana? Give me the answer for it. Think in your own mind and do justice to it. That you ask for things, but you do not love Jamaat Khana. તમે દોલતને પણ ઇબાદતથી વધારે ચાહો છો? That you want this worldly, money or worldly things more than your ibadat? So let's stop here and let's go back and understand this in more detail. So number one, this first story, Imam is telling us these 3 types of people: rich, medium rich, and poor. And Imam has given us example. The rich person is the person who is in a love of worldly life. He's a human, us. And then poor person is ibadat. And it is only the ibadat which will be able to speak on our behalf, as you said, and represent us, seek forgiveness for us, and take guarantee and get us the freedom which we seek. So this poor friend is very, very powerful, very, very resourceful, which is our ibadat, right? So an Imam does not explain to us the medium person, right? And those 3 were friends. If we were to look at this story from a different point of view, different understanding, different ta'wil, then we will be able to understand it a little bit more. But before we go to that, Imam is emphasizing in this Farman on ibadat. The word ibadat, immediately we think the ibadat of Baitul Khya. But then Imam says that if you do not do ibadat, there will be questioning. What about those who do not have Isma Azam? If everybody will be questioned, then what about those who do not have Isma Azam? Meaning, we can infer that this word ibadat do not mean the ibadat of 4 to 5. The word ibadat is a very broad term. In reality, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah has already explained in another Farman in Kalam-i Imam-i Mubin, using this word ibadat and giving us the name Abdullah, the slave of God. And then he explains the meaning, that it means that you need to be obedient to the Imam's Farman. So obedience to Imam's Farman is very, very broader than just doing the ibadat of 4 to 5. So here, when Imam is referring to ibadat, do not limit this term to only Baitul Khya ibadat. Because otherwise, you are saying that those Ismaili Jama'at who do not have Isma Azam, this Farman is not for them, and will be wrong, because this is the Farman for the whole Jama'at. Meaning, ibadat is a very broad term. It does include Baitul Khya ibadat. But in reality, it is about Farman Bardari of Imam. And when we talk of Farman Bardari, we do know Hazi Imam has explained to us that it has to be based on conviction, not based on convenience. And we have been having beautiful sessions on Sunday, global lectures. So I would say, you are invited to join that group and listen to those sessions, because we are discussing different themes from Faramins of Hazi Imam to have better understanding, right? So, Farman Bardari, we need to really understand Imam's Faramins and then be obedient to it. If we are Farman Bardar, if we are following the Imam's Farman, we can hope that our sins will be forgiven and we will reach to that freedom, the azadi which we seek. Our ibadat, meaning our good deeds, because when we obey the Farmans, what we are doing? We are being obedient. Our deeds are good deeds. Our book of record is a good, fill in with a good book of record, right? Good deeds. That will speak on our behalf, and we will receive or get the freedom, the azadi which we seek, the salvation, becoming one with Imam. We will receive that. So we understand what Imam is teaching us in this Farman, emphasizing about ibadat. So ibadat is a very broad term. And then what that Imam said, I do not want to forget. So we will talk about 313 Mominins. And Imam also talks about Jamaat Khana. Now Jamaat Khana, remember, Hazi Imam's Faramins are very clear. Even Sultan Ahmad Shah's Farman, Imam has said, if you are not able to make it to Jamaat Khana, if you are in a train, you're traveling back from work, wherever you are, say your dua, say your tasbih. Meaning that when we take this term Jamaat Khana, many of us have different kinds of life nowadays. At times, physical attendance to Jamaat Khana is not that simple and easy in today's time comparing to 1893. So Imam's Faramins are there wherever you are. Make your own Jamaat Khana. What am I saying? Our heart is Jamaat Khana. Our heart is also Jamaat Khana. There is one Jamaat Khana which is within us. So wherever we are and we have purity in our being, we say dua, do our zikr, our ibadat with purity in our heart, Imam will accept it. But when we can go to Jamaat Khana, we should go to Jamaat Khana. So remember, there's a physical Jamaat Khana as well as there is spiritual Jamaat Khana. So take all this understanding in a broader sense and do not put yourself into just guilty corner that I cannot go to Jamaat Khana. If you cannot physically go to Jamaat Khana, do you sit in your own Jamaat Khana? In your heart, within your heart. If you're driving back from work, do you pray? Do you say your dua? Remember, 3 times dua is farz, is must. Baitul Khya ibadat is voluntary. So we have to fulfill our must ibadat, which is 3 times dua, which is morning and evening Jamaat Khana, Chandrat Majlis, and the Som. And then on top of that, We have nawafil ibadat, meaning ibadat which is not compulsory, but we voluntarily come to Imam, go to Imam and ask for Isma Azam because we are seeking his closeness. So we understand that concept. Let me just go back and talk about these three friends, because we have to understand that there can be more than one understanding which Imam, depending on the level of Jama'at, is giving. So rich people, though Imam has referred that it is us, but it is referring to our part, which is physical being. The rich person actually is our physical being. The medium rich person is actually our soul, which benefits when we say dua, which benefits when we listen to farmans and sing ginans, when we pay the song. So there is medium richness level at the level of the soul. The poor being of ours is actually our intellect. So these three are friends because we are all united in our being. We have our soul, we have our intellect, and we have our physical body. The rich person always remains busy with the physical life and physical worldly life and physical things, meaning, do we use our physical body only for benefit of the worldly life, worldly progress, worldly benefit? Then we are at a loss, because this person, this body will get old. We will get sick. We will not be able to sit in ibadat, because when you're old, it's difficult. When you are sick, it is very difficult. So whenever the physical body is mentioned, remember this body has limited time. And this limited time, the gift this body receives of life, it's through the soul, which has come from the single soul. This soul does benefit from our, birth. Our parents take us to Jamaat Khana from our young age to our adult age. But if we have not fed our intellect, meaning if we have never gained knowledge, true knowledge, our intellect is very poor. And if you truly reflect on this farman, who is going to get freedom for us? Who is going to speak on behalf of us? Soul is not going to speak. It is the intellect. It is the intellect. Because with intellect we learn what are the good deeds. It is with intellect we learn what is the meaning of the Imam's Farman. At the level of the soul, we do zikr and ibadat. Learning takes place at the level of intellect. So those who are poor intellectually will have difficulty. In the physical, worldly life, those who are using physical life only for the worldly benefit, their intellect is very poor. But then there is an example of a moment whose intellect is very powerful, seemingly poor, probably poor, but they are blessed with the knowledge. And when we start walking on the path of knowledge, this poor friend, this intellect, when we feed with knowledge, will stand on behalf of us at the day of judgment and will get forgiveness for us, as well as grant us our freedom. So do understand this poor being within us is actually our intellect. But same person, if that same person is Momin Salik seeking knowledge, this poor being is the most powerful entity in the physical body, which is intellect. So reflect on this example from that point of view. And of course, when we reflect, we look at ourselves too. Where am I investing more and more time? Remember, it is about the clock. Tick tock, tick tock. The clock is ticking. Who are we taking care of the most? If we have knowledge with intellect, we will learn to live the life in the physical world, but earn the money for the spiritual life. For a moment, his work is also ibadat. His taking care of family, wife, husband, children is also ibadat. And in our tariqah, we do know that Imam does not want us to, live in our own world, being single. No, Imam says you need to get married, you need to have children, you have to have full physical life, take the full responsibility, and then remember me. As if Imam is trying to make our life difficult, but in reality, that's not the truth. Imam is saying that enjoy the fruits I have given you in this physical world. Live your life. but at the same time, using your intellect with your true knowledge, learn how to make every relation, every test, every difficulty an opportunity to earn for the hereafter. So if we don't have these heart part bazar kari jano, if we don't have these shops, heart part meaning these, shops which are around us, meaning our husbands, our wife, our children, our friend, our sister, our brother, our Jama'ati member, all these are different kinds of shops, as if we are in a mall. And every relation in itself is a point of earning, making business. So are we earning? And that ability to realize that we are earning from every relation, that will only come through intellect. Only come through intellect. And when we do zikr ibadat, when we stay in remembrance, that benefits our soul. So when we are learning differently for physical being, for spiritual, and for intellectual. But in reality, it is the same person who's benefiting. The body is one, and the time is limited, 24 hours. If that time is only used for the worldly success, this soul is very poor. But if this is the person who is Mu'min Salih, who is learning and living in the worldly life as well, taking care of both the responsibility, due to his zikr ibadat, the soul is becoming more powerful. This middle class person, rich, is becoming more richer and richer. And then the intellect, the most poor, is becoming very, very rich. It's probable that they may not have physically a lot of money. Who cares? The moment doesn't care. But they are living comfortably in the physical life because their priority is not only earning, because they do not want to forget that clock is ticking. I need to take care of my soul. To take care of the soul, to go to its origin, meet with the origin, you need intellect to speak on behalf of you. Because samjhana, samjhavi, explanation to the, the Badshah. The way in this story it says that the poor friend explained. The word explanation is relating to our intellect, understanding, explaining. Nothing else can explain or understand our being, not soul, not our physical body. It is only through intellect. So it is our intellect, the knowledge which we have learned, will speak on our behalf and explain that how we were working hard, being obedient to Imam's Farman with conviction. And when we made mistakes, we we asked for forgiveness. This intellect will speak on our behalf. But for that, we have to respect, invite, welcome, feed, treat it nicely. Take care of this in our intellect. We've taken good care of our intellect for worldly progress. But here we are not talking about secular education. We are talking about this education, which we need to understand and learn. Quran, Ginan, Farman, Hadith. All these, books of our Buzurgwar-e-Din, this knowledge we have to learn so we can help our own soul to progress. So this was one thing which we had to understand from different angle, because actually Imam is not talking about different people, We may think, oh, they are rich, so they only take care of themselves. No, we are not going to judge in that way. Limited intellect, limited education at that time, Imam is giving limited education. But we are sitting in 2023. These words are full of wisdom, and we can understand that it is just about me, one person. How am I treating my own being, my own personal world? So I hope that this is very important lesson from this Farman, which we had to understand. And then Imam adds to this story and says that in this physical world, there are always 313 mu'minins. In today's time, we have around 20 million Ismailis. So according to this Farman, out of 20 millions, there are 300 mu'minins, due to whom this whole world, the humanity is lasting. This earth planet is lasting. Because these 313 mu'minins are those, the whole world, they are like pillars, the way Imam talks about in Memoirs, chapter 8. They are the pillars in this world, on whom this world is, standing on. Who these 313 mu'mins are? In today's time, now we have learned about Hudud-e-Din. Hudud-e-Din classical structure which existed in the Fatimi time in our tariqah, it does not exist in today's time. But these Hudud-e-Din are present in spirituality. They are hidden, they are in batin. But they are there. They are there to help Jama'at if we seek their help. It is due to them the whole world is standing on. The whole world is standing on. And remember that the way we understood this poor person speaking on behalf of the rich friend, going there and speaking. Those who are physically probably poor, but feeding their intellect, you know what they do? They pray for the Jama'at. They pray for humanity. And I hope that this helps you understand that when we talk of these 313 Mu'minins, what characteristics they would have. What can we learn from them to be able to elevate their ranks and get close to the nur of the Imam? How would they be praying that the whole humanity is dependent on these 313 Mu'minins? And then Imam is asking us, Insaf thi jawab aap. This makes me, really honestly, it makes me giryan, it makes me, shed tears of embarrassment. That Imam is asking us that, give me a justified answer. Be sincere, be honest. That you ask for worldly children, worldly things, worldly benefit, worldly progress, worldly peace, worldly physical health, all world, which we are going to leave behind. But we do not love the Jamaat Khana. You ask for more money, but you don't do ibadat. In this Farman, Imam is, worried about us. The way Imam is asking us that we do have intellect. We are very intelligent beings. Why and how we are neglecting our soul? Why is that so? So Imam is asking us to think and reflect. And the Kalam I read in the beginning, in which it says, Khayal Taire Barki, that this world of imagination we have, in which we reflect, we think, we really have to have this court in our being, in our imagination, and put ourselves standing in the sinner's, place. How are we going to protect ourselves? How are we going to let our intellect speak on our behalf? What we have given to our intellect? Have we understand how to love Jamaat Khana? Jamaat Khana is also at 3 levels. And this also I have explained in one of the lectures. If the friends wants to have that to understand what is Jamaat Khana, you can ask Naveen Sahib and Karim Sahib. Why do we not love the Jamaat Khana? Imam is asking us. It is not about loving the physical walls. It is understanding the concept of Jamaat Khana, the house of the community. There's a physical Jamaat Khana, there's a spiritual Jamaat Khana, there's intellectual Jamaat Khana. Do we understand that? And have we shown any love to these 3 levels of Jamaat Khana? And then Imam says that, why do you not do ibadat? And ibadat, as we understood now, that it is a very broad term. If we are limiting this understanding to Baitul Khayal ibadat, then my dear brothers and sisters, we are mistaken. And if I may, because Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's farmans are very, very straightforward and kind of harsh in today's time. We want to be very polite and nice and don't use these words, but sometimes I feel, we are very lazy and, don't move forward. These things do not, pierce our heart. So Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's words are like piercing. And Imam says that he gives an example, the way you put a belt in the neck of your dog, right? You put a belt. Do you know that Imam says, my farmans are that belt on your neck? Now, if we were to have a dog, we know if you pull the rope, the dog will turn that side or this side. It has to follow your command. It cannot do what he wants to do. He has to follow the command, otherwise we'll pull the rope. That is the meaning of following Imam's Farman with conviction. He is holding that rope. He can do whatever. But he lovingly gives us the free will. You decide for yourself. What do you want to do? Do you want to follow the Farmans or fall in love with the worldly life and worldly things? So when we use this word ibadat, it means that we have to follow the Farameens of Imam with conviction. And if we understand that part, we are truly Farman Bardar. We are truly Farman Bardar. Imam says, I give you free will. Mu'min says, Mawla, I submit my free will to you. What Peer says, do not make me do anything else but with whatever your desire is. Kaam kara jo tuj bhave. Whatever you like, make me do that. It is not that we use our free will with whatever and make him responsible. Oh, I sinned because you did not make me do good deed. No, that does not what it means. It means, how did you use your intellect? We are committing that we will use our intellect, meaning remaining mindful and submitting to Imam's Farman, submitting our free will, following the Farman without any question. Just follow the Farman. And he is our Mawla, he is our Imam, and he will take us to the salvation, to the freedom, where we are one with him. So inshallah, we will continue this Farman from this onwards. So we will understand. Though this is related. Karim, what do you say?
Ji, Niamat Sahib.
We stop here, right?
Ji, yes, I think so. Yeah.
All right.
It's nearly 1 o'clock now. Yeah. So thank you, Niamat Sahib, once again for giving us this wonderful tawil and highlighting the importance of intellect and the importance of feeding it with the correct knowledge for us to progress. It also reminds us of how Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah used to use stories again to teach the Jama'at because of the level of education of the Jama'at. But still, the Imam loves us so much that he uses all these different ways of getting the message across to us. It's just that we seem to forget every time. Yeah. We have two questions. One is from Salma, and she says, so without Baitul Khayal, still we reach salvation? Baitul Khayal only is one tool.
Very good and very important question. Thank you, Salma, for asking. I was hoping someone would ask, so thank you. Remember, when we are talking about the word ibadat, Jama'at limits it to Baitul Khayal time. And I have had this question coming to us that you speak in your classes as if everybody has Isme Azam. What about those who do not have Isme Azam? So there are different, Jama'ati members who do not have Isme Azam. And we have to understand that when we are talking about the understanding of these Faramin, first we need to understand the Ibadat in its broader sense. On the second level, remember this Nawafil Ibadat, meaning there's a beautiful hadith of Prophet Muhammad saying that if you do not do this additional Ibadat, not just must, if anyone who does not do additional Ibadat, he says that you cannot come close to him if you do not do Nawafil Ibadat. Meaning, if you don't do this additional Ibadat on top of what is must, you cannot get close to him. So, very clearly, if we say the must is dua, chandrat, majlis, and the son, that is not enough. That is must at the level of, beginning. But the way we grow in our physical life and we learn, we continue to prosper and learn and grow and continue, right? Similarly, on the path of the religion, we have to realize that we do want to do additional things. And our Prophet has taught us in his hadith that if you are seeking closeness, when a mu'min wakes up and they want to come close to the nur of the Imam, the path is only through Isme Azam. Without Isme Azam, there is no spiritual enlightenment. It is very, very clear. So it is very, very important to have Isme Azam. But we need to understand that we elevate on this path step by step. So we have to understand when we do not have Isma Azam, don't think that this Farman doesn't apply to me. And when we have Isma Azam, don't think if we are doing ibadat, we are doing everything. So in that context, I had to say it in this way. So we really open up our mind and see from both the point of view to realize that those who have Isma Azam or those who do not have Isma Azam, both have to fulfill the Farmans. And those who study Farmans, they will know what is the importance of Isma Azam. There is no mukti, there is no salvation without Isma Azam. Ji.
There is another question regarding the 313 Mumins. The question is, are they inside the Jama'at or are they part of the Jama'at? Do they have to be part of the Jama'at?
Very good question. I would say they have to be part of the Jama'at. Why? Because when we are saying that without Isma Azam, without Imam, this world would not last. Without Imam, this world cannot be. And Imam is with Ismailis. Isma Azam is with Ismailis. They have to be from within the Jama'at. Hudud-e-Din existed within the Jama'at. They taught humanity as well. Pir Sadruddin is Hudud-e-Din. I hope you know that. Pir Nasir Khusro is Hudud-e-Din. They had the rank of Hujjat. If we are talking in the Persian term, if we talk of Indo-Pak term, we say Pir. They were Hudud. And they came to India or Iran or Tajikistan, all these Ismailis, China, they all became Ismaili because of these two peers. So they were Hudud. They were from Ismaili Tariqa. These 313 Mu'minins are in Ismaili Tariqa. There is no doubt about it. Ji.
Thank you. Friends, if you have any questions or comments, please come forward.
Yani Madad.
Malali Madad.
This is Anis. I believe that these 313 Mu'minins, when one passes away, the other one takes the place, yeah?
Yeah, Imam has explained that in his Farman, yes.
Yes.
So
Do they know each other? Do they know each other?
So right now, the way we do know that this Hudud-e-Din exists in Batin, right? So when Batni eyes are open, everything is known to them. So they know each other, right? Because in Batin, everything is visible to them. It's nothing hidden. But the key is that we'll have to remember that in today's time, in 2023, when we are talking about this Farman, it is the Imam, which is the centrality of our tariqah. He's the fountainhead, and we refer to Imam. This Hudud-e-Din do exist in Batin. And these are like angels of Imam, right? Imam says that you have this path of becoming an angel or becoming an animal, human animal, right? So those who walk on the path of becoming angels, these Batni angels, they come to help them due to the command of Imam and help them elevate on the path of Sirat al-Mustaqim. Because this path is to walk on and to continue to go further and further in the journey to progress.
Okay, thank you.
Good question.
Anyone else?
I
It
think
looks
it's
like
a lot to reflect, right? To think and understand and see within our being that how it is applying to ourselves.
Thank you, Niamat Saiba, once again for a lovely session. And as you mentioned, it's something for us to reflect in terms of how this Farman actually applies to us and how we can change ourselves and implement this.
Amen. Thank you,
Thank you, and Yali Madad, friends.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Yani Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad Appa, thank you so
Yali
much.
Madad.
Yali Madad Husna, Yali Madad Merusa. Thank you. Good to hear your voices.
Shukr.
Shukran.